Hi everyone, Maury Mo here. This week, the official Star Wars website released a preview of Star Wars Crimson Reign issue 1. This comic will come out in December, and Charles Soule is the author. So the first few pages of Crimson Reign continue the story of Qi'ra started in the War of the Bounty Hunters. So far, it's a pretty exciting and explosive first few pages in this preview, not just for the story of Qi'ra herself, but for its very first panels. So let me get right into that. So these panels automatically drop the reader into a new mystery. The very first panel begins with the interior of a building, reminiscent of the inside of the huts on Ahch-To. And we get a date that starts it out. It says, after the fall. So what is the fall? Is it the fall of Crimson Reign itself, or is it the fall of the Empire? This line could refer to both, but I'm inclined to believe that it's the latter, that it's referring to the fall of the Empire. So there are at least two characters, two speakers, in this primitive-looking hut, and neither of them are shown to the reader. And this starts the very first mystery of Crimson Reign. So, by the way, this is not the first time Charles Soule has used a frame story for his comics. One of the best issues of Poe Dameron, issue number 28, used the same literary device. The end of the comic revealed the speakers to be none other than BB-8 and R2-D2. And I suspect the end of Crimson Reign will also give us a fascinating reveal on the framing characters. It's clearly intended to be a surprise for the audience. So, what can we deduce from these panels? How do we solve this mystery? Okay, first, there are at least two speakers. At least one of them uses the light side of the Force to turn on the holocron. And second, the archivist of the holocron is an older woman, at least 20 to 30 years older than the younger version of herself when she is shown with Qi'ra. It's possible that this woman's species doesn't age the same as ours. However, I am guessing it's similar enough to us. We don't know how much time has elapsed between the making of the holocron and its access by the unseen characters, though. However, my guess is that the characters are looking at this holocron at about 20 to at most 40 years after the events of Return of the Jedi. So who are these mysterious characters of the Crimson Reign framing story? Here are my guesses. Number 1, Luke Skywalker and Lor Sontaka. These characters both traveled around together and had an interest in Force objects such as the holocron we see. And though it feels a little odd to have Luke going over a history he already lived through, nonetheless, I can see this being about 20 years after Return of the Jedi. And also, Charles Soule likes to use Lor Sontaka and the Sontaka characters themselves, the family, in both Poe Dameron and in the past, such as the High Republic. So these are my first two theories on who these characters are. I'm kind of leaning towards Luke Skywalker and Lor Sontaka, but it could be some other characters. Second, it could be Luke Skywalker and Ben Solo. Again, the timeline would be right about the same. Luke may be showing Ben holocrons in general, and of course some history of a time before Ben was born and of a woman his father knew. Number 3, it could be Rey and Leia. Now this could take place, it could be later in the given time frame, and it could be Leia is showing Rey a holocron. Though the hut looks suspiciously like Ahch-To, and I can't see Leia ever returning to Ahch-To, or I don't think she's ever even been to Ahch-To in the first place. So I don't see her going there. If this is Rey and Leia, it would take place after The Last Jedi and before the rise of the Skywalker, and it would just be some other planet. I don't know which one, but it wouldn't be Ahch-To. My fourth idea is it could be Rey and Finn or some other Force user. This would be after the rise of Skywalker, and it makes a fairly reasonable amount of sense. Both of them would be learning of a time period they're not familiar with. Finn is learning of holocrons, and it could be Ahch-To, it could be any other planet. But after Luke Skywalker and Lord Sontaka, this is kind of my second biggest guess as to who these characters could be. My fifth guess is Rey and Ben Solo, maybe Ben as a Force ghost or another entity. Again, this would be after the rise of Skywalker. Only, unfortunately, I don't see this as being as this soon, right after Rise of Skywalker, just because the movie just ended, and I don't know if they would want to go there just yet in the story. But you know what? It's wishful thinking. You know, it's an idea. But however, the speech bubbles lead me to believe that the two people in this room are both alive. Usually, when we have Force Ghosts talking, there's kind of a blue aura around the speech bubble. I'm not seeing that, so I think these are two living people. And my other guess is it could be the caretakers, like the Lana. You know, this is because it does look like Octo. It could be Luke Skywalker and Alcida Alka, or some other caretaker. I mean, these are the people that live on that planet. Maybe one of them has found a holocron in one of the huts and they've brought it to Luke Skywalker. And that's my final guess. Let me know in the comments if you have any ideas on who these characters are going to be revealed to be. I think we can definitely tell it's going to be something close to the sequel trilogy time period, or even after Rise of Skywalker. But let me know. I'm pretty intrigued by this setup, and I can't wait to see who it would be. May the Force be with you.